That is what a vampire should look like. Nosferatu redefines the portrayal of vampires by rejecting the modern, romanticized version of these creatures as seductive and alluring figures. Instead, the film delves into a more primal and horrific version of vampirism, one that emphasizes repulsion, death, and the insidious nature of the vampire's existence. This approach brings a level of realism to the vampire genre, grounding it in a visceral, unsettling atmosphere that underscores the fear and dread associated with these supernatural beings. One of the most striking ways in which Nosferatu brings realism to vampires is through the physical appearance of Count Orlok. Unlike the beautiful, charismatic vampires of other films, Orlok is depicted as grotesque, with elongated nails, infected wounds on his body, and a corpse-like complexion. His appearance evokes a sense of decay and death, rather than allure. This choice starkly contrasts the seductive and romanticized vampire figures that have dominated popular culture. The ghastly visage of Orlok is a key element in making Nosferatu a film that unsettles those that watch it. In this way, the film highlights how vampirism is not a glamorous affliction, but a curse that transforms a once human being into something repulsive, parasitic, and grotesque. Furthermore, the film emphasizes the horrific consequences of vampirism through its depiction of the vampire's impact on others. Orlok is not portrayed as a tragic figure or a misunderstood anti-hero, but as a purely malevolent force that brings death and destruction wherever he goes. The plague he brings is not a symbol of forbidden love or a catalyst for romantic longing, as seen in more modern vampire films. Instead, the plague is a literal manifestation of the horror he spreads, underlining the devastating consequences of his existence.
The undead plague carrier.
Plague! It's a plague ship!
The rats he transports aboard his ship serve as a symbol of death, transmitting disease and decay, reinforcing the notion that Orlok's very presence is toxic and destructive. This aligns with the film's treatment of vampirism, not as an opportunity for transcendence or immortality, but as a manifestation of rot, filth, and suffering. The realism in this portrayal lies in the inevitability of death and the very tangible, horrific effects of encountering such a creature. The horror in Nosferatu also stems from the way it depicts the vampire's relationship with its victims. Vampirism in Nosferatu is not a romantic or seductive encounter. It is an act of violence, terror, and domination. Count Orlok's predatory nature is on full display when he feeds on Thomas Hutter, leaving bite marks on his chest and later attempting to kill him. The feeding scenes, in which Orlok looms over his prey like a monstrous parasite, highlight the grotesque, unrelenting nature of his need for blood. Count Orlok is not a figure of seduction or romanticism. He is a creature of death and decay. In portraying vampirism as a grotesque and violent affliction, the film aligns itself more with the dark, terrifying origins of vampire mythology than with the more recent, sanitized portrayals of the genre. This is a glimpse into the true nature of vampirism,